Hello, Matthew Stokes here from Captivate Media, and as you can see, I'm not in my office right now. I thought this was probably a good opportunity to put a video together, seeing it's just kind of what we do. We are up and running, albeit in a much smaller way, clearly not able to film on locations and the events that we would normally be filming, but we are still operating and still working on edits and talking to clients and things like that. I thought I'd put this video together because in these crazy times, people are doing some different things and thinking about different ways that they can communicate, and seeing lots of different companies putting together their own videos. Some of them are really good, some of them not so good, but you know, they're nearly there. And I thought, while I've got a bit of time, that I'd put this video together to help companies improve the production quality a little bit. And there's a few very simple techniques and tips that I can give to help people. Clearly it's not going to be quite the same as a full video production, but this is not a marketing video. There might be the odd blatant plug, but I'll let you know when that's going to happen. But yeah, this is really a way to reach out, to let people know that we're here, to give thought and support to kind of companies big and small, all over the world, and hopefully there'll be a few nuggets of information that you might be able to make use of. I mean, firstly, clearly there's no better time to talk to people by video. One, because you can't really get out and about on the road, but also just to everybody's doing things in a different way. And clearly people have got a bit more focused time to look at their computers and to consume information and to hear from people. And one of the exciting things for me as a video professional is that people are consuming video. Clearly they're at home and they're watching things like Netflix and Amazon. People are doing video conference calls. People are watching things that they might be not watching at any other time of the year. So it's actually quite an interesting idea anyway, but also because that's kind of what we do, I should be a bit of an expert in this. And let me give you a bit of a, because yeah, you know, we are a video production company, we do all sorts of different things, and hopefully there's a few skills that I can pass on to people that are doing videos to help them on their way. And one of the first things is really the camera. These days, most people have ready access to a very good quality camera in their phone. You know, my phone's a couple of years old and it films in perfect quality HD. Everything's automatic, so it's got me in focus and it's exposing correctly. And so you've actually got a really good quality camera. Quite often they're filming in 4K, certainly high resolution. So it's you've got a tool right there that you don't have to spend any money on. Now, clearly you've got to have it held up in front of you. Now, some people might want someone to be filming, but actually that can be quite difficult because it can be a little bit daunting having someone behind the camera that you're talking to, and you might be distracted and you don't want to look silly. So what I would probably suggest is something like this, which is just like an in-car phone mount. There's got to be some way that you can kind of stick that to something, put it on a chair, stick it on a wall. Some fairly basic way to keep a camera is going to be a little bit better than having someone that might be moving around, might get distracted, might get bored. And as I said, it'll probably make it a bit easier for you to talk to nothing rather than someone. And one of my personal hates is video that's filmed vertically rather than horizontally. We've got eyes that are like this. We've got peripheral vision, which is like this. Screens, monitors, we're used to watching things in horizontal, not vertical. So if you're filming on a mobile phone, unless you really want to, and unless you know that your video is going to be consumed on social media, like Facebook, then I would really suggest you can hold it horizontally, not vertically. And don't forget that if people are watching it on their mobile phone, they can twist it and it will be seen in a much, much better perspective. It's more natural. So yeah, that would be one of my big tips. Don't go too far away. A lot of people seem to want to be quite a long way away from the camera. The thing to remember is that if people are watching on a mobile phone or on a tablet, then the video is going to be pretty small and you're going to be tiny within that video frame. And so if people can't really see your face, if it's less than the size of a thumbprint, you know, you might as well just be doing audio rather than video. So I'd certainly bring the camera a little bit more forward than you may be comfortable with. It can again be a little bit daunting, but you know, it's going to be much better in terms of when someone watches it, they're going to make eye contact with you, and it's going to be a much better way for them to be watching you. Now the content is obviously really important. There's no point in doing a video if you've got nothing to say. So let people know your status, especially at the moment with the craziness. Let people know that you're open, what your capacity is, how you may be impeded, how you might be able to help people. Reach out to your customers, talk to them about how your business is going to evolve or change to help them at the moment. It can be really assuring to have a friendly face, to have an opportunity to communicate with your customers face to face, virtually, is actually really beneficial. And even your staff, quite a lot of people are doing conference calls and things. And if you're not doing that, then, you know, to give people the reassurance that things are up and running, to let people know you're thinking about them, video can be a really, really kind of powerful tool. And this is also quite a good time if you're kind of sat at a desk and you're trying to adapt to what you're doing for your work day. Give a little bit of thought about how video could help you. If not now and with these kind of videos, but in the future, what other projects could you be doing at a later stage? We do a lot of things like, oh, hang on. We certainly help customers with things like frequently asked questions, training, which can be for customers or for your customers, to kind of teach them how to use your products in the best way, or talk about ways that your products could be adapted to different uses. So things like that. This is probably quite a good time for you to think about those kind of things. But also, if you've got old video content, whether that's stuff that we filmed or for other companies or anything that you've got historically, this might be a good time to relook at that. Look at ways that could maybe be repurposed. It could be re-edited to work in a different way or to give a different message, or just to keep it fresh, or even just to repost your old content so that it's fresh in people's minds. Now's probably a pretty good time to do it. The audio is probably one of the quickest ways to establish if something's been homemade or not. And camera microphones are pretty good. Again, you've got to be pretty close to the camera in order for them to sound good, but they are always going to pick up lots of ambient sound. And especially if you're at home, if you've got kids running around, washing machines on the go, you know, you're going to hear those just as much as you're going to hear your voice. So if you're able to, if you've got the time, then you can get really good quality but cheap microphones, which will plug into the audio plug of or the audio socket of a mobile phone. Now, you may well need a breakout cable. There's a TRRS cable, which you can plug into the headphone socket of a mobile phone, and it will split. So you'll have one side which is for your microphone and one side which is for your headphones. So that's quite an important thing. If you are going to get a plug-in microphone, if it's not one that is designed specially for mobile phones, then you will need to get one of these breakout sockets. If you've got a microphone that you use with your computer, for example, that will plug into one of these breakout cables, and that will be a really great way to record audio. One big tip will definitely be just to listen to your voice in certain environments. Now, where I am, there's probably a little bit of echo which you're picking up, and this is even with me having a tie mic, if you can probably see just here. But yeah, have a listen to other sounds, like ambient sounds, things like washing machines in the background, air conditioning, the fans on computers if you're doing it in a study. They can be quite loud, but you ignore them. Your brain is filtering out all these noises which you're not often aware of. One quite funny thing, when I'm on location with clients, they will insist that there's a really quiet room. And as soon as I get there, I will hear all of the echoes, I will hear some of the reverberations, vibrations, air conditioning above your head, some roadworks out in the street, but because these people are used to these environments, they filter them out and they're not aware of them. So just take a moment, just have a listen to how things can be impacted. And one little tip is, if you've got soft furnishings, maybe some pillows around. If you're in a small environment, maybe put some pillows up or some blankets up. That can actually absorb a lot of sound and can actually make a really, really big difference. And yeah, we'll just raise the production values of your video. Another difference can be lighting. So right now it's a really nice sunny day. Funnily enough, in England, we've actually got some sun. So this room is quite bright. I've got overhead lighting. You might not have that, and using a light will really, really make a big difference. I've actually got a very small light. I haven't used any proper lighting, just to illustrate that I've got a very small light above the camera, and that's actually making quite a big difference to bringing the foreground out as opposed to the background. That's what a lot of lighting is all about, is giving you a foreground and a background and putting the focus on where you want the viewer's eyes to be. And right now, it's me. So having a light will make a difference. Even if you've got a desktop lamp or a lamp that you use in a garage or something like that, those kind of things will make quite a big difference to raising the production quality on your video. Now, you're going to get another one of those, because obviously when we work, we have different lights and we have overhead lights, and lighting is quite often something that is missed by people, but is one of the things that will make a video look professional to homemade. So if you're able to do just one or two little touches, then that will really make out your video to be much better. Now, being on camera is a lot of people's worst nightmare. We do lots of videos. Oh, I should probably give you a little, we'll give you a small one of those. We work with so many different people that have never been in front of a camera before. And there are numerous techniques, very subtle, that we will use to make people relax and get the best out of them, get them used to being in front of a camera. Clearly, if you're doing a video yourself, you won't have the benefit of those kind of things. So do your best to relax. Don't overanalyze what you're doing. Don't be too critical of your voice and how you look. People aren't used to looking at themselves on camera or hearing themselves, and they hate it. But as soon as you put it in front of someone else, they will reassure you that you're good, it's working, and it's great. Content is king. So if you're doing a video, you're already most of the way there. So just relax. One big thing to help you will be to write some bullet points of the things that you want to talk about. You don't want to be rambling, which I may well be doing, so apologies if I am, but you want to kind of cover the points that you want to make sure that you want to get across in the video. And you may well notice that every so often my eyes are popping down. Right next to the camera, I've got a list of the things that I want to talk to you about. And that's a good idea. Don't write a script. This is certainly not a script. I'm not doing this because straight away you'll be able to tell, and my delivery would change totally. But I've got bullet points of just the main things that I want to cover with you, because you want to make the connection with your customers. If you're starting writing a script, you may as well just send them an email. This is all about making the communication with your customers, your viewers. And so I think that's a really key thing. But also, don't try and cover everything all in one go. Don't be afraid to take a pause and to change topics. Break the video down a little bit. You can take those breaks out. Don't feel that you just need to talk for 10 minutes, because one, the video might get a little bit dull. Two, it actually makes your job really difficult. And three, for the viewer, it's much better viewed if you're a bit more to the point and covering all the bullet points that you've done on your nicely prepared sheet. You are going to need to do some form of editing, but it's probably going to be pretty basic. You're going to want maybe your company logo, a title, then cut out the gaps, out any gaffes you might have made, and then right at the end, put your logo again. But I'm not going to be able to tell you the best software to use. There's so much resource out there. Look on Google, look on YouTube. you'll find lots of guides, but you can keep it very basic. This is pretty much as simple as a video gets. So find something you're happy to use and you're comfortable with. There's lots of it for free as well, so you don't have to put any money out on it to find something that will be able to put your video together in a much more professional way. You need to make sure that you get your video out there, so you need to get this uploaded, and I would always suggest that you upload it to YouTube. YouTube is really good for your search engine results because it's all tied in with Google. I'll give you one of these, because obviously this is something that we work with our clients to optimize their search results, and there's various techniques and things that we do to help that, but put it up onto YouTube. Make sure you use a really good title. Don't just say company update, because that's never going to be found. If you do something like, for this, there'll be something like homemade video tips for companies, because that's ultimately what people will be searching for if they do need some help, and hopefully they'll then find this video. So use a sensible title, and then you can post that video to all your social media, to Facebook and to Twitter and Instagram and all those kind of things. Now, clearly, those platforms also have their own hosting solutions, so you can upload the videos to there as well. But yeah, make sure that you spread your video as far and wide as possible if you're reaching out to customers. Obviously, if it's an internal message, that's a little bit different, or if it's for specific people. I really hope that this video has given you some food for thought, some practical tips. If you are doing video, hopefully this will help you. If you're not doing video, hopefully this has given you some inspiration for what you can do. We're going to give you another one of these. We are working, we are operating, albeit we haven't got any new projects, but we're talking to people. So if you want to talk to us about ideas that you've got, what might be possible, what might not be possible, but also just to kind of bounce ideas around, we're quite happy to have those kind of conversations. And with this video, please comment, please tell me if you disagree with what I've said, if you've got your own ideas, what are you doing with video, how do you think video could help you? Post those comments, get this conversation going. This strange, crazy time, this is a good time to talk, to communicate. So please message, and also spread this video out. If you've got anybody else that you think might be able to use this, if you've seen any company videos that you think could potentially use some of these tips, please spread this video, let them know, and hopefully some people will be able to make use of these tips. In the meantime, keep safe. I hope you're making some sense of this crazy time right now. And of course, wash your hands. Take care, bye-bye.